Good afternoon. As president of the Jacques Delors Institute, it is my privilege to associate the Institute to Diktio and my good friend Anna Diamantopoulos in the debate of an issue that is outstanding for European agenda. The need to guarantee the security at our borders and at the same time to address the challenges of European migration policy. In a few weeks, we all Europeans, will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Schengen Agreement. And I think there are good reasons to celebrate such an event. And the fact that the majority of European citizens in the Eurobarometer explained that one of the top achievements of European integration, if not the top achievement, is precisely freedom of movement of people. The existence of a borderless area like the Schengen area. But of course, one must be aware that the freedom of movement of the EU citizens is under attack. And I've always feared that the loopholes and the shortcomings of the European Union to address the need of a common, comprehensive and holistic migration policy, sooner or later will backfire on the freedom of movement of EU citizens. But one should not forget that the freedom of movement is a fundamental right of the European citizenship. And migration is an economic opportunity that needs to be addressed at national level and also at European level. In order to keep alive a borderless area like Schengen, we need to guarantee that external border controls are really efficient. There can be no weak links in the chain, because otherwise it's the entire internal security of the borderless area that is put into question. I do believe that there is an urgent need for a new impulse at European level to address the challenges of migratory flows and of asylum seekers. These pressures are here to stay. And most likely, if you see in the neighboring areas, this pressure will grow in the near future. You just need to think about what's happening in Northern Africa, especially in Libya, or the dreadful situation in Syria, or in Iraq, the threat of the so-called Islamic State. And we need to be frank with our fellow citizens. There is, among the public opinion of the European Union member states, some mistrust in the way the Union and the member states are managing people's flows. And I do believe that it is very timely to have this discussion. I identify from my side 3 basic requirements. In order to succeed, we need to build mutual trust between the member states. In fact, there is no future for a beggar thy neighbor policy. We are all in the same boat, and we need to learn how to survive in these troubled waters. And we need to be frank and recognizing that some of the instruments that have been put in place, including the revised Dublin regulation, need to be revisited because they are not delivering what we expected them to deliver. But beyond the mutual trust of member states, there is a second very important requirement. In our political debate, in our cultural approach to diversity and to the evolution of our own societies, we need to abandon the state of denial where we are living for too long. We are confronted with a fast-changing world. Imagine that in the last decade, Germany, that used to portray itself as not being a country of destination of migratory flows, today is the second worldwide country with more immigrants present in its own territory. One has to recognize that for aging reasons of our continent, for economic needs, for the need of innovation, we Europeans, the European Union, needs the contribution of migrants, of fully well-integrated migrants in our societies. So at the same time as we need to go on prioritizing the fight against illegal immigration, with all the human drama that we know, the trafficking in human people, the fact that people are drowning in the Mediterranean. A few days ago, there was the largest sunk of a ship with migrants since October 2013, and around 400 people are supposed to have died. But if we need to keep preserving the fight against illegal immigration and the criminal networks that operate not only in third countries but also in our own member state countries, we need to address a common approach to a legal migration policy, a coordination of admission policies of legal migrants by all EU member states. And this is the second prerequisite. The third one is that we need to deploy solidarity. Of course, member states are not exposed to the pressure of migratory flows on the same way. For historical reasons, for geographical reasons, and I believe that Greece knows exactly what I am talking about. The proximity with the conflicts is a source of enormous concern. I've always made it clear that the Europeans should be prepared to deploy solidarity and support refugees and asylum seekers as close as possible to the regions where they originate. We need to live up to our commitments when it comes to fundamental rights and the fully fledged accomplishment of the Geneva Convention. But inside the European Union, we need to have a fresh new approach to sharing the burden that represents delivering international protection. And this point of burden sharing has always been an extremely sensitive and difficult issue among the member states. The dimension of the migratory flows, the dimension of the flows of asylum seekers requires each time more and more a new commitment towards fundamental rights and a new approach to burden sharing. This is my modest contribution to our debate, to your debate today. And I sincerely wish a very fruitful exchange of views in Athens. Thank you for your kind attention.